Hello everyone, welcome back to another aspect of our coding. But this time we are going to talk about how to use Git and GitHub as a beginner. So today we are going to see step-by-step processes and with example. So we are going to see how to use our Git and GitHub. I know most of you have been hearing about what Git and GitHub is, but little little of you know how to use it and the function. So today I'd like you to pay close attention to how we are going to use Git and GitHub and the importance of using Git and GitHub as a developer. So first, we want to see the use of Git and GitHub. What is their purpose? What do we use them for? Git and GitHub are essential tools for version control and collaborative software development. And here are some key reasons why they are important. Remember, we said Git and GitHub are essential tools for version control and collaborative software development. So we use them to collaborate as a software developer. First, remember we said it has some key reasons why they're important. First, for version control. Now, Git is a distributed version control system that allows developers to track changes in their code base over time, and it helps in managing different versions of a project, making it easy to revert to previous states, track changes, and collaborate with others. While GitHub is a web-based platform that provides hosting for Git repositories, it adds a social and collaborative layer to Git, making it easier for multiple developers to work on a project simultaneously. So Git is a version control system that allows developers to track whatever changes they have in their code over time. While GitHub, on the other hand, is a web-based platform that it provides hosting for Git repository, where we can also add social and collaborative layer to Git, making it easier for multiple developers to work in just one project simultaneously. And under Apart from version control, we use it as well for collaboration. For Git, it enables multiple developers to work on a project simultaneously without interfering with each other work. And each developer can work on their local copy of the repository and match changes when ready. While GitHub, on the other hand, provides a platform for hosting Git repository in centralized location. It offers features like pull requests, which allow developers to propose changes, discuss them, and integrate them into the main code base. So each developer can work on their local copy of the repository and match changes when ready. So you are going to create each developer can create their own local copy, different branches on just one repository that they are working on. Then they will push their code into that branch they've created. And after they are all done, then they can merge into just one main branch. So that is the functions of GitHub. Now for branching and merging, Git supports branching, allowing developers to create separate lines of development, and this is useful for experimenting with new features or fixing bugs without affecting the main code base. Merging also allows changes from one branch to be incorporated into another. While Git, on the other hand, provides a visual interface for managing branches and merging changes, pull requests in GitHub are a way to propose changes and discuss them before merging into the main branch. So can you see the importance of the pull request in GitHub helps propose changes and discuss them before all those working on the project can merge into just one main branch. So don't worry, as we're going to go on, we're going to see examples of how to use all this that I'm talking about. Now, for history and auditing, Git maintains a complete history of changes made to a project, and each commit is recorded along with the author, timestamp, and a message describing the changes. While GitHub offers a user-friendly interface for viewing the project history, making it easy to trace the evolution of code base and understand who made what changes. So we have when it helps to maintain complete history of changes, and each changes that you make you always commit changes and write the change message there so that whoever comes to that project will understand why that changes was committed. And also for remote repository, Git allows developers to work with repository hosted on remote servers, and this is crucial for collaboration as it enables teams to share their work and contribute to projects regardless of physical location. So which means that no matter locations you are, even different countries, you can all work on one same project as long as you created just one repository for a project and you all have your own branches that you can work on. While GitHub acts as a popular remote repository hosting service, and developers can push their changes to GitHub and collaborate with others through features like forking, cloning, and pull requests. So as we go on how to use your Git and GitHub, we are going to understand what forking means, what cloning is, and how to pull requests. For open source contribution, GitHub, many open source projects are hosted on GitHub, making it a hub for collaboration and contribution. So there are different developers that contribute to a particular project. They easily fork a repository, then they make changes and submit pull requests, contribute to a project they are interested in. In fact, they may not even be part of those that work in that project before, or part of those that work in that team. Can be like a project you love and you saw on someone repository, and you can just fork that project, make changes as well, and request to pull. And also you can also issue tracking. In GitHub, it provides a built-in issue tracking system, allowing teams to manage and prioritize tasks, report bugs, and discuss new features. This centralized approach streamlines communication and project management. So in summary of what we discussed today, we know that Git and GitHub are integral to modern software development workflows, offering powerful version control, collaboration, and project management capabilities. They have become industry standards and are widely used by developers and teams around the world. So as I'm discussing this, I would like you to jot down some important points as we'll be working on it one after the other. So all these I've explained so far, we would like to work on examples on it, but do not forget to first install your Git. We're going to discuss how to do that in the next page. Now, using Git and GitHub as a beginner involves several steps. Here is a step-by-step guide along with an example of how to push code to GitHub, because we are going to work on examples. If you are enjoying this video, I'd like you to please give it a thumb up, like the video, comment. If you have a question, we'll do well to assist you on whatever questions you have. Do not forget to share as well to others that might have a need to understand this, that might find difficult to understand. Do well to share to them so that they too can benefit from just what you are benefiting. And if you have not subscribed, please do well to subscribe before leaving this channel. And I'm sure you're enjoying this, and I know you don't want to leave because you want to learn more. So when you subscribe, you'll be able to get more updates on more of our videos that might be uploaded. So that you'll not be missing. So let's go back now. Here is a step-by-step guide along with example of how to push code to GitHub. All these I'm explaining today, we are still going to work on it. Work on examples on our Git and as well on our GitHub. So the first thing we need to do now to start is to install Git. How can you install it? You download and install Git on your computer. You can get it from this website, git-scm.com. Then for you to configure your Git into the Git after downloading it, you set your name and email using the following commands: git config -- global user.name, then double quotes, you put the name that you've created. Remember, this name you created is on your GitHub, so which means you need to create a GitHub account first after installing your Git. So when you sign up on your GitHub account by going to the website github.com, then you create your repository. So after you sign up for github.com, you are going to have a username. So that username is what you're going to put here to configure your Git into your Git bash that you install, you download. So if you want to download it, you can go to your Microsoft store and type Git bash, then you can download it there, or go to your Google and go to this website here to download your Git bash. So after creating your account on GitHub, you see a plus sign up. There you can create a repository. Click the plus icon and select new repository. So when you select a new repository, give it a name, probably the name of the project you want to work on. Probably it's a project on creating your new portfolio or creating an e-commerce website. Just name it whatever file name you want to work on your project. Then you can choose public or private. Public is when others too can collaborate, check your code, fork it, make a pull request and stuff like that. While private is just only you. So initialize the readme for simplicity. Now this readme is a readme file. This readme always it will ask you if you want a readme or not. So you can click on readme if you want, and you can click on check if you don't want. Now the purpose of this readme file is, remember, whatever code you want to push into the GitHub, probably is a code on your portfolio or e-commerce site. So you are going to explain everything on that project. So the explanation of everything on that project, the purpose of why you're creating the project, what you achieve on the project, the advantage, disadvantage, everything would be written on this readme file created automatically. But if you don't want a readme file, it will not be created for you. Then you can create one inside your folder that you are coding on. So for simplicity, it's better to initialize a readme for yourself. Now the next thing is, you can also as well clone the repository. In your terminal, you can navigate to your project folder and run git clone this. Now, for every repository that you created, always come with a link. And this link, if you want to clone someone's project, when the person since it is in public, when every other people can have access to your repository, so when they want to clone it, they will just click on that link, they'll copy the link and type it on their terminal or on their git bash and type git clone and paste the link. So automatically when they paste the link, it helps to clone that project so that they have as well the source code of that project. Now, add and commit changes. How do you do that? Edit your code, then use Git to add and commit your changes. Now, to add your changes, you type git add, git space add space dot. Now, when you add git space add space dot, it will help you to add all the files inside your folder that want to be pushed into the GitHub. Now, the purpose of this git commit here, but take note first, for this git add space dot here, if you don't want to push all the files inside your folder to the GitHub, you can say maybe you want to only push some selected files inside it. So what you are going to do is you type git space add space that name of the file alone, then only that file will be pushed. Now, this git commit is a message that will be sent. It's a commit message. After you put git commit space -m, then double quotes, you write your commit message. The purpose of that commit message is to help you to track your changes, like to understand the purpose of the changes. Probably I've already pushed my code earlier and I want to push it again. Maybe I made some changes to my code, I corrected some things or added some changes into it. So I'm going to write the purpose of my commitment, of me committing another thing. So I'm going to write probably, okay, I added in the commit message, you can put adding a JavaScript file or just put something that's the purpose of commit. If it is your first time pushing your code, you can also add the commit message, my first project or my first portfolio code, or just write a commit message so that whoever is coming to check your project will understand the purpose of you committing that changes into the GitHub. You understand your code, and it can also help you in future for reference purposes, probably in years to come when you need to go back to that project. It helps to understand each of the files you committed, then you'll be able to see the commit messages of what they are for and the importance of why it is being committed. Now, push to GitHub. How do you push? Push your change to GitHub by typing git push, git space push space origin space main. Now, this main can be changed, probably the name of your branch. If the name of your branch is not named main, it is master, you can type master. And sometimes you can also create a new branch by putting any name. You can put tech in tech or so, whatever name you create for your branch, apart from the one that is created automatically, which is always master, you can as well put it. Now, after putting it, remember, after creating a new branch, you have to check if that branch you created, what you want to put are already on that branch. Don't worry, I'm going to explain on how to do that step after the other. And after doing that, you can write the name of the branch you want to push the code to. So if you are working as a group in a project, you everyone can create their own branches, push their code into it, then after checking it, then you can all merge it into just one main branch. So that is the purpose of creating your branches. Now, to push your code to GitHub from Visual Studio, remember all the one we explained earlier is how to push it on our Git bash. Now, how do we do that on our Visual Studio? Remember, we use our Visual Studio. It is used to code on our either HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and stuff like that. And if you have been following us through on Tech in Tech channel, where we code on introduction to HTML for beginners, and as well talk about, we say that we use our VS Code. While when we started Python, we use our PyCharm, because PyCharm is better used when we code on Python. So Visual Studio, PyCharm, they all have their own terminal as well, whereby you can push your code even without using your Git bash. And that you can do in the terminal aspect, which I'm still going to show you today. So I'd like you to follow along. Do not stop watching if you want to understand this, because by the end of today's video, you're going to understand how to push your code to this place. Remember the purpose of pushing it, to save those codes. Probably you have a system crash, you want to retrieve your project source code, you need to push them. And it is important as a developer to know how to push your code to GitHub, because whoever wants to employ you will ask if you have that knowledge of doing that, because it saves a lot. Now, the first thing you need to do, just like I've explained earlier, is you install your Git. Then after installing your Git in your computer, download it from this website, then you can create a Git repository. So to do that, you go to your GitHub and create a new repository after signing up for your GitHub. Then you can name the name of your choice, probably the name of the project I'm working on, an e-commerce website, a portfolio, and what have you. Then open your project in your VS Code. Right click, open your project on VS Code, your folder. Then after doing that, initialize Git in your project. While you want to push the code, you are done with your project. Then to do that, in VS Code, you open your integrated terminal by clicking view. You click on view on terminal, you run the following commands and initialize the link to the GitHub. So the first thing you need to do is you type git init. And before you type git init, make sure that in your terminal, the name of the file you are working on the file folder that you want to push the code to. Don't worry, I'm going to explain all this I'm talking about when we start the example. Git remote add origin. This link here, remember, is what I've talked about earlier, that you need to copy after creating a repository, because when you create a repository, automatically you get a link like this. So you type git remote add origin, then you paste the link there. Then after, you stage and commit your changes by using the source control view in VS Code to stage your changes by clicking the plus icon next to the files you want to commit. Then you add a commit message. Then the next thing is you push to GitHub. In the terminal, you run the following command to push your code. To push your code to GitHub by typing git push -u origin main. So remember, this main is just the name of the branch. It might be another name that you've created already. So you can replace the main with the branch you want to push it to if it's different. Then your code is now pushed to your Git or repository from your VS Code. So this is an example of how it's going to look on our Git bash, but this is not how it's going to look on the terminal in our VS Code. So now let's see example of what we discussed earlier. Let's talk about what we discussed earlier. So here is my Git bash now. Here's my Git bash. So the first thing we need to do is, I've already configured my Git on this, but for you to do that, the first thing you need to do is to set up your Git configuration. You can open your VS Code terminal. So first, you can do that on two places. First, either in your Git bash or on your VS Code directly. So this is what I'm going to do. Before we work on it, I have to create a folder first. So I want to create a new folder. You can create a new folder and name it. Remember, after creating a new folder, it is inside that folder you're going to code, and you're going to open it with your VS Code. So let's say I've created it already. This is tech in tech. So I'm going to right click now. Sorry, my system is slow. I'm going to right click now. Then I'll open it with my VS Code. So if you've downloaded VS Code already, you are going to automatically, when you right click up there, you see open with VS Code. It brings the icon. Then if you have another one to use, maybe you have another that you want to use apart from VS Code, you will see them, Sublime Text and so on. Then if you have PyCharm, maybe it's a Python project, if you see it, even when you right click as well, you are going to see it by the right, PyCharm. So you open it whatever which you have that you want to code with. So I think it's still loading. Okay, can you see? Open with PyCharm. If I'm working on PyCharm, open with my VS Code. This is the icon of VS Code. So let's see. Still loading. So this is my VS Code already, which I'm opening the file with. So I'm going to show you two ways on how to use it, how to push on either your Git bash or on our VS Code. So this is my VS Code already. So first, let's go and push on I'm going to push on my bash. So the first thing you type here is bash. You have to configure your Git. So you have git config global username, user.name, then double quotes. Then I can say, okay, tech, then I'll click on enter. Okay, the first thing is my GitHub username. So my GitHub username that I'll be pushing to is damtop. Then I'll close it. So let me show you my GitHub already. So here is my GitHub already, which I've created. Click here. Remember here is top repository. You click on new. Then it will take you to where to create a new repository for that project. So now let's say I want to push my code to somewhere new. So I'll click on this new to create a new repository for myself. So after clicking on that new, it will bring you here. So to remember, say you have to give it a name. Probably the name of the project you're working on. So let me say I'm working on, let's say, okay, let me put sample tech. So the description, you have to describe what you want to do. Maybe this code, this project is all about how to design a website. Just an example. You just have to, so description is just explaining what's your project. So you can click on probably your private if you want others to see it, then private only you. Then add readme file to my project. Like I will explain everything about it inside that readme file. Then just ignore the rest and click on. It says this will set main as the default branch. So you can change it at the settings. So let's leave it. Then you click create repository. So it's already loading. So you can see sample text. So it has already created a repository for me. This is my readme file here. So when I click it, or readme file, this is it. So you can type your readme file explains everything about the project. So you type it whatever you want there. Then I'll go back to my sample text and my repository. Now, how will I get the link that I've been explaining earlier since? You come to this code here, you click on it. So can you see this link? https://github.com/this sample kit. Then you click on copy. So that is the link you'll be using to push your code. And you can see the branch. You say I created one branch and name of my branch is main. Then if I want to create another branch, I'll click on the branch here. Then I'll click new branch here and type it. Let me say another branch I want to create under this sample tech is tech, and click create new branch. So I now have two branch now. I have main branch and tech branch. So I'll now decide where I want to push my code to, either the main branch or the tech branch. So I'll be going back now to the repository. So I have two branch. Can you see it's telling me I have two branch? So I can click on this arrow. You see the two branch. So it's this one that is clicking telling me is the default branch that when I'm coding, this is where automatically the code will enter. But if I don't want to enter here, I can click here. Now automatically the code should be entering my tech part. Can you see it now? But if you want to change it inside your terminal or your Git branch, you can as well change the name of the branch to where you want to push it to. So now let's go back to our Git batch now. Now I've already put git config global username dot name damtop. So the next thing I'll do, I want to configure my email. So I have git config dash dash global user dot email. It is important to configure all this so that you not be having issue. Then double quote my email, then I'll close it. So I'll click enter. So let's see. So I'm done with that now. So the next thing I have to do is, remember I've already created a folder and I've already created this. I already have a folder that I'm working on already, which is this. So I'm going to indicate it. Now let me go and check the name of the folder. The name of the folder is tech in tech and is inside my document. So we have to trace it in our Git bash. So the thing we are going to do is we have to look for the part where it is. Let's say cd documents. Let me see, maybe the document has an S or just document. If it has an S, so let's go back. Documents, let's see. So then after cd document, I'm trying to tell you that okay, when my folder is inside the document, and inside that document, I have another folder there, which is tech in tech. So I'm trying to tell you that okay, I want to work inside it, because if you don't indicate it, you'll be working in anything inside the system. So you have to tell it that okay, where my folder is in this document, and that's why I'm putting cd documents. Then you have to indicate cd tech. Let me see the name of folder very well so that I will not be typing wrong thing. After letter tech underscore in, then after letter tech. So we have tech in underscore tech and click enter. So can you see now that, so whatever I work now, it will be working directly inside this file here, because you have to indicate it that okay, inside my system, in the document part, I have this tech in tech. If I don't indicate this tech in tech, it can be working on any of this. So if I don't want this tech in tech, I can change cd to another name of folder I'm working on. So you have to make sure that you are working on the folder there, or else you'll not be getting the right thing. So the next thing you want to do is you want to initialize our Git by putting Git init and click enter. So I trying to tell you that okay, I want to initialize Git on this and I want it to work for me. So it's trying to tell me that okay, I'm ready, but this tech in tech is empty. I have not pushed anything. The Git is empty. So the next thing I want to do is I want to first check my Git status. What was inside that tech in tech? Let me see. What are the files there? So can you see now saying on branch master? This Git status is on branch master, but all these things are showing me red. The reason why they are showing me red is that they are not ready to push. They are red because you've not added it. They are on track files. They are not ready to be pushed because you've not added them to be pushed. Now, how can I add them to be pushed? I'll type git space add space dot. Now this git space add space dot is trying to tell me that okay, all these files here that are showing red should be ready to be pushed. But if I don't want to push everything, I'll just put git space add space the name of the file. Let's say I want to only push sample dot html. Can you see? Then I'll click enter. So it's telling me that it's ready. So how will I know that it has already tell me that it's getting ready to push that? I'll check this status again. So can you see that in the Git status it's trying to tell me that okay, it's showing color green for sample.html. That it is only sample.html that is ready to be pushed, that is added though. But the rest of this menu, remember it was 5 before. It's not many for it. The rest of that is red though. They are not ready to be pushed because you've not added them. So the next thing I'll do is this. Let me clear so that I'll continue. For you to clear, you just type clear, C-L-E-A-R. Then the next thing is I'm going to add git space add space dot now. And click enter. So I'm trying to tell that okay, all the files in that folder let them to be ready to be pushed. So I'm going to type git status now to check if they are color green already to be ready to be pushed. Enter. So can you see that they are all color green, which means that okay, they are all ready to be pushed. Now the next thing after git add is this git add space dot is we are going to type git commit space -m, then commit message. Okay, this file I'm pushing, what is it for? Okay, let me say okay, my first, you must put a commit message. My first push let's say my push sample. You can type anything. Tech in tech class, and I'll click enter. So it's trying to tell me that okay, 5 files have changed. Logo, sample, style, these 5 files that they are ready to be pushed. And the name of their pushing is my push sample tech inte class. Now the next thing you will do after typing your git commit message, because after you put a commit message, you will now tell it, I want to check now, where am I pushing it to? What's the name of my branch? Remember, I have two branch already. So let's see the branch that this pushing is already by typing git branch. Enter. It's trying to tell me that okay, this git branch is in git master, that is not in that one I want to push. How will I now make it to be in that git branch that I've created, the repository I've created? So I'm going to type git remote add origin. That's the repository I created that I want this to be pushed to. Remember, I've copied the code. Let's go back. I came here earlier and click copy. So that is what I'm going to paste there now. So after writing git remote add, so control paste. That's control V. Okay, so it has pasted. Then I'll click on enter. Sorry, enter. So let's see. Okay, so it's ready. Now let me check git branch now. Since I'm pushing in there, git branch master. I've already typed git origin because that's the branch created for the repository. And click enter. So let's leave it. I think it's still working. So as you can see, that is already creating, it's trying to tell me that where it is pushing, it is pushing into a new branch named master. So it's created a new branch for me, master. Then the last thing is, so let's see now. Let's see. Last thing is we want to see. Tell them that okay, 100% files to my GitHub. So I'll now go to my Chrome. See, so here is the master that I has created 3 seconds ago. It's created for me automatically. So this is the main that is pushed to. So I want to see if it has pushed it to it. So as you can see, all the 7 code down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's 5. It has pushed everything successfully. And the name we committed, can you see the title? My push sample tech inte class. Can you see them all? So they've been pushed automatically to my GitHub. So now my code are saved now, even though my system is being crashed or whatever happens to my system. So the same thing now, we're going to do it as well on our VS Code. We can as well push, we are going to push the same thing as well. So since it's showing that we are going to push, I'm going to show you how to push, how to push this. I'm going to show you how to push all these code that we've made using our terminal. So how to go to our terminal, you go to these 3 dots here, you click on terminal, you go to new terminal. So the terminal will show under here. They show under here. So let's wait for it to show. You can make it wider by scrolling this up, since we are working on only our terminal for this part of the video. So it's still loading, and whenever it's going to show the name of the folder, the show of the folder must be shown. It must show to show that okay, you are working inside this tech in tech. As you can see here, that trying to tell me that inside the document you can find tech in tech, just like what we did on our git bash, where I created I did cd document, then cd tech in tech, trying to tell you that okay, what I want to push is inside the document, and inside the document you find the folder I'm pushing. So the same thing too must occur to my VS Code, because if it's giving me a different name and here is tech in tech, it's giving me another name here, that means I'm not inside that folder and it will be pushing wrongly. So the same thing we did to the git bash is what we're going to do here. So everything step by step, but I've already pushed this. So if I want to push it, tell me that there's nothing for me to change again. I've pushed. So I'm going to make some changes now in my code. Let's say this sample. Let me click sample.html. Okay, sorry, it's showing already. Let me scroll this. Let's say I copy this again, this TR table, control copy. Then I created another one and paste. So remember I've added something new which it was not in the one I pushed already. So I now want to push it. So the first thing I'm going to type is I'm going to type git init. Okay, sorry. Git init. I want to initialize git into this. So initializing existing git. So it tells me that I've already pushed earlier. So remember I told you you can either push on your git bash or you push on your VS code. So I'm initializing my existing git repository because I've already pushed earlier. So I'm going to push now. So what am I going to push? Let's say my git status. I want to check the one that I need to push that is odd. So it's trying to tell me that I've already modified my sample.html because I've added something else. So this is the only one I can push. Even at all I want to push, I cannot push anything because it's already been pushed. So for me to be able to add these changes to the file there, I'm going to type git space add space the name of the file, which is sample.html, and click enter. So after doing that, I'll type git status to see if it has been pushed, just to confirm. Now it's showing green. So the next thing for you to do is I'll write a commit message, that is git commit -m, then double quotes. I'm writing what I push, maybe change in sample.html file, and close it. Then I'll click enter. So it's trying to tell me that okay, only one file change, then insertions. So it's trying to tell me what I did differently. So the next I'm going to do after I've already tried like that, okay, now it's ready to push. So I'm going to type git push -u origin master, because that's the name of the branch I'm pushing to. Remember that the branch that I've created now is now three. I have master, I have main, and I have tech intake. So if I want to change it to another branch, instead of me writing branch, I'll just say git checkout. Then I'll write that name of the branch, which is tech intake I've already created. So now it's telling me that okay, I've already pushed it. Can you see 10 insertion, one file changes? Because I've already pushed. Now let me see if it has really pushed. By going to my Chrome now, then I'll refresh. So I've refreshed now. So I'm going to see, can you see? As recent push it as 5 seconds ago, which is now. Then this sample doesn't see change in sample HTML file 1 minute ago to show that I've made changes. So I would like you to work on this. It's very easy and simple. If you still have questions on how to use your Git and GitHub, how to push your code, how to create your GitHub, how to download your Git bash, feel free to ask that on the comment section. Then some additional tips you need is make sure you have the necessary permissions to push to the repository, because sometimes when you are trying to push it, it tells you that you cannot push. So when it's telling you that the final stage here to push, just go to your GitHub. It will tell you to log in again to show that it's not someone else that is trying to push into your GitHub, just for safety. And also if you are working on a branch other than master, replace master with your branch name. You can change the name. Then consider using SSH for authentication if you don't want to enter your GitHub credentials every time. Then you can set up your SSH keys following GitHub's documentation. If you put state of private for you create a repository, and to give you a key on how to log in. And for you to be able to copy, can you see this is SSH? This SSH. So for you to be able to copy, you don't have a public SSH keys on your GitHub because I did not create. You can add a new public key or try cloning. So if you created it as private to give you a key to log in, then if you want a public key that okay people can see, but it's only people that give that key that can be able to see your repository, can create one here. So that's this. Your code should now be pushed to your GitHub repository after doing all this step by step. So if you are enjoying our videos, please do well to like this video, comment as well. If you have any questions, we are ready to assist you. And as well share to others who might have issues on it. So you can now see that we have 3 branches already. So as I'm pushing, and anywhere you like push, you can push to main branch, you can push to your master, you can also push to tech. So just make sure that you indicate the name of the branch when you are pushing. But if you are still having issue on doing that, please do well to ask questions and check on the details of this video. You are going to see the Telegram link where you can as well ask questions. We collaborate where see my ones like you that are ready to assist you one-on-one coaching. You can as well join our WhatsApp channel where we can assist you more on some places you are having difficulties. So we'll be waiting for your questions and we'll be ready to assist you where possible. So I'm sure you enjoyed today's class on how to use Git and GitHub. They are very, very essential. So feel free to try yours, make researches as well, freestyle code, and you see that you are going to be good in it. With time, you are going to learn more on how to use your GitHub. There are a lot to do here. There are a lot to do on your Git where you collaborate. Can also create a project, create a pull request, compare and pull request since it's more than one branch. You can also go to your settings here, and the purpose of your setting here, you can collaborate, click on collaborator. When you click on collaborator, maybe you are not the only one working on the project. Remember, it will tell you to sign in. After signing in, you confirm. Since it will tell you to give the name of the emails of those that you want to add. So after adding them, they will accept it on their emails, and as all of you will start working on that same project that you create, the repository you created. Then everyone can create their own branches here. They can create their own branches here. So after creating their own branches here, they will come there and create their branches and push into their branch. Then later when you are all done with it, then you can what? Merge and pull request. You can merge and pull on just one main branch. Like hey, compare and pull request. So you can do that. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching this video. If you have questions, just like I said, do not forget to ask. So thank you and bye. See you in the next video. Bye.